Hey out there from the Badger Rock Urban Farm. Here we are again for another one of our garden workshops. The topic today is harvesting. This is go time for the garden. Everything is really popping in your garden and your farm right now. And so we're going to just do a little tour through the garden, and I'm going to show you how to pick what is ready. If you've never grown vegetables before, this is a little tutorial 101 how to harvest. So we're just going to do a little walkthrough, and we're going to start right here with green beans. So you can see these are pole beans. Beans can grow either on a bush, and the beans that grow on a bush are called bush beans, and beans that climb are called pole beans. We put some just sticks, made this little bean tent here, and the beans just climbed on up, and they've been flowering, and everywhere there's a flower, if it gets pollinated, it will start making a green bean. So if you come on a little closer, once the bean is nice and plump, but you want to get it before it starts turning brown. If it turns brown and dry, when you open it up, what you will have inside is dry beans, which you can either use like you would dry beans from the store. You can soak them and cook them, or you can save them to plant for next season. That's how you get seeds from a bean plant. So you just want to hold the plant with one hand and hold the bean with the other, so you don't pull the actual bean plant out of the ground, and you just harvest your bean. So that is green beans. So easy. You can grow so many different kinds of green beans. We have purple ones, we have yellow, we have noodle beans, super long ones. So this is the time, if you have beans in your garden, to go check them because they're probably ready. And if you want to come on over here, a lot of people ask, how do you grow green tomatoes? Well, the way to grow green tomatoes is just to grow tomatoes. You just grow what are called slicer tomatoes, beefsteak. There's so many different varieties of slicing tomatoes, but you just pick them before they turn red. That's how easy it is to grow a green tomato. It's not a special plant. It's just a plain old slicing tomato that you harvest before it's ripe. So that's how you harvest green tomatoes. And if you look over here, we have our collard greens. These are one of my favorite crops that we grow in the garden because they will be giving all year round. So if you look, you can see there's bigger leaves on the outside and smaller leaves in the middle. What you want to do is find the big leaves on the outside, and you just push down on them till they snap and they come right off the plant, and you have your collard greens. If you leave a little stump, the plant's going to waste some energy putting energy into that stump, and it's not going to grow. So it's best if you can just pick them right where they come off the stem. You can harvest as many greens as you have big leaves, and just leave the rest of the little leaves to fill on in. And by next week, these little leaves will be big and ready to harvest. All right, moving right along. Over here we have broccoli. A lot of people don't choose not to grow broccoli because broccoli is really only makes one big head, and then what you get from there on are just little florets off the side. So it takes up a lot of space. It takes a long time to harvest, and it takes up a lot of space. It takes a long time until it's ready to harvest, and you don't get a whole lot. Is why some people don't grow broccoli, but you can grow it, and if you grow it, the plant looks like this, and then the broccoli will grow in the middle, a big old head of broccoli. And once you harvest that, you'll get these little side shoots called florets coming off that you can harvest and bag up. If you have never eaten a broccoli flower, these are delicious. They're really sweet. They have nectar in them. They taste like an extra sweet broccoli. So that's a really special treat. If you have broccoli flowers in your garden, go ahead and eat them. Those are flowers that you can eat. All right. And let's keep on going. So many things. I think we might not hit all of them because we'd be walking for an hour, but we'll get some of the main ones. Whoa, look at these. If you watched our pickle workshop last week, these are little tiny cucumbers called Mexican sour gherkins, or you can also call them cucamelons. These are delicious. They're just like a little cucumber. You can pop it right in your mouth, or you can pickle them. Super good. And these climb, so make sure you plant them near something you can climb. But this time of year is when you should start checking to see if they're ready. I think we're going to have some ready for our market this Sunday. So come on out. All right. We also have over here some carrots. And carrots are a plant that you plant really early in the season. The way to tell if a carrot's ready is you find where it's coming out of the ground and you look for the top. See if I can get these leaves out of the way so you can see. You see the carrot top right there? So once the carrot top is about as big around as a carrot that you would buy from the store, you can just gently, oops, if the soil is dry, you might need to get a trowel to get it out. But you can just pull the carrots right out of the ground. So that is how you harvest the carrots. And carrots, you only get one harvest because it's a root. You pulled the whole plant out. So once you've pulled it, it's pulled, all done. But garden grown carrots are so sweet. They carrots, the longer they sit around, their sugars turn into starch. So the carrots you buy in the store sometimes taste more starchy than sweet. That's why. But if you pick them fresh out of the garden, they are super sweet. So get ready for fresh garden carrots. This is the time of year when you can start looking to see if they're ready. All right. And we're going to come on over. Another thing that you can grow is tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. A lot of people think you have to wait till your cherry tomato is 100% ripe to pick it. That is actually not the case. If you pick your cherry tomatoes when they still are a little orange or have a little green on them, they will last longer. And you can just pop them on a counter. Don't refrigerate them because they'll get mealy. But pop them on a counter. I'll sometimes put cherry tomatoes in a little pint basket on the counter, and they will just ripen right there on the counter. Same with Roma tomatoes and slicing tomatoes. Once they have a little bit of red on them, you can go ahead and pick them and just let them finish up ripening inside. So that is tomatoes ready this time of year. We have cucumbers in here. Yes, we do. Look at this. Here's a big old cucumber. So when you start seeing flowers on cucumber plants, you know the cucumbers are coming. And all you have to do is take that cucumber, whoop, snap it right off the vine without pulling the vine out of the garden. Cucumbers have spikes on them. So when you buy them in the store, the spikes have been taken off already. So you can just rub those spikes right off and you'll have a nice, smooth, ready to go cucumber for your garden. Check your cucumbers every day. Check your cherry tomatoes every day. Check your green beans every day, because at this time of year, they get ready so fast, you will blink and they will be ready to harvest. Same with summer squash and zucchini, which is what we're going to check out next. All right. And come on out, you all, to the Badger Rock Community Market. It's every Sunday, 2 to 6. Our youth employees, high school kids who work with Rooted during the summer are here running that farm stand to sell all the vegetables that we have ready from the farm. So come on out. This Sunday and all the Sundays through the growing season, we'll be having a market right here at Badger Rock. 517 East Badger Road or 501 East Badger Road will get you to. Just come around the side of the building by the chicken coop and you will see where the entrance to the market is. Whoop! I almost passed something that we should not pass up. Bell peppers. Check out these beautiful bell peppers. Look at that. This one's a little small, but the way to tell if a bell pepper is ready to harvest is it looks about the size that you would want a bell pepper to be. Trying to look, we might have already harvested all the ready ones. But when you pull on the stem of a ripe bell pepper, it will literally just snap off so easy. And that is how you'll know your bell pepper is ready to eat. So keep an eye on your bell peppers too. Those get ripe really fast at this time of year. Everything gets ripe really fast at this time of year. And I'm going to show y'all one more crop. And we'll call it a day. But over here we have zucchini and summer squash. If you look down inside the plant, here's a cool thing to know about zucchini and summer squash. they have separate male and female flowers. So female flowers, you can see the beginnings of the vegetable on the bottom of the flower, but they have to get pollinated for that vegetable to grow, to make the fruit and to make the seeds. And look at the inside of that flower. Versus the male flowers, and their whole job is to pollinate. Oh, there's a bee in there doing its job. So look at that. Hello. Sorry, little bee. So if you get a pollinator to go into a male flower, they get covered in pollen, and then they go visit a female flower and pollinate it. And that is when the vegetable will start to grow. So check it out. Here is a finished zucchini. You can see the old flower on the end, because once it's pollinated, the flower has done its job. It just shrivels up and dies. And it's ready to go, and you just want to make sure that you cut it to leave a little stem. If you break it and leave an open spot at the top of it, it's just going to rot quicker. So it's a good idea to check your summer squash and to check your zucchini every day, because I swear it will be this size today. You come out tomorrow and it's another foot longer. And sometimes when zucchinis and summer squash get too big, they're almost not even edible. So yeah, that's just a little brief tour of the garden and how to harvest some of the most common things we have growing at this time of year. There are a lot of other things ready in this garden. You know what? We're going to finish up with one more thing. I'm going to show you all how to harvest sunflower seeds real quick. I just looked up and saw these sunflowers, and we can't really leave the garden without talking about them. The trick with sunflowers, though, is getting to the seeds before the squirrels. Check it out. The squirrels have almost cleared this one completely out, and the birds. But if you plant sunflowers in your garden, each one of these little pieces in here is an individual flower. So this is actually, a sunflower is actually thousands and thousands of flowers. Each one gets pollinated, and each little flower makes a sunflower seed. So if you can get to them before the squirrels, you can have a whole harvest of sunflower seeds just from one head of sunflowers. And this time, I'm not lying, we will wrap it up. We could go on for days out here in the garden, because it's so beautiful and it's so abundant at this time of year. So come on out to the market, see what we have for sale. Our produce is very, very affordable. We don't use any chemicals. It's all super fresh, picked out of the garden within days of you buying it at our farm stand. So come on out, hope to see you, and we will see you next time for the next workshop.